6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
The Ramble with Alex Bennett. Tonight at 10:30 Eastern on GabNet.
Hi, everybody. This is Alex Bennett, and I've had a long and interesting trip. It's called life. And for years, people have demanded that I write a book about it, and while I've been a writer, my main talent has always been that of a broadcaster. Over a year ago, I decided not to write the book, but using my best skill, I decided to tell it. It's called Life in the Passing Lane, and I described it as an audio biography. It's presented in 30-minute chapters, so it's easy to binge listen. And you can access it on the GabNet page by clicking on Life in the Passing Lane and going to a page with every single episode, plus some extras. If you want to access it on your mobile device, that's easy too. It's on iTunes. It's Life in the Passing Lane, an audio biography by me. I'm Alex Bennett.
Jack Bishop's Intersection, tonight at midnight Eastern on GabNet.
You can listen to the Great American Broadcast Network for its engaging conversation or its entertaining hosts. Or you can just listen and play the GabNet drinking game. Is Phil Meyer right or wrong?
I was looking at the headlines. I guess Britain is going to die a strange death.
Wrong. Drink.
The Chinese are building up a drone warfare army ready to attack.
Wrong. Drink.
The financial health is overstated in the year 2000.
Wrong. Drink.
Bengali wants human remains. Now, I did read that article, and they want to talk to Hillary Clinton's aides.
Wrong. Drink. The Great American Broadcast Network. Come for the facts, or twist open a bottle and just have a good time. GabNet.net, a tune-in partner. Drink responsibly.
This is an Internet Network news break. IP Pingsley reporting. Our top story, the Great American Broadcast Network, otherwise known as GabNet, is now a tune-in partner. TuneIn, the world's largest audio network, has joined forces with GabNet, the world's most innovative talk network. GabNet's partnership with TuneIn means that listeners now have three main ways to listen to GabNet programming: GabNet.net, TuneIn.com, and the convenient TuneIn app for smartphones. To participate in the network's innovative citizen panels on GabNet programs, use Skype and type the handle GabNet Live, or call on your phone 347-352-0079. For more information on this network, its programs, and its hosts, log on to GabNet.net. That's GabNet.net. This has been an Internet Network news break.
Talk like you've never heard it before is now talk like you've never seen it before. Alex Bennett's Ramble is now in video. Log on to Alex's Facebook page at facebook.com/abennett every Tuesday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern and experience the Citizen Panel like never before. We put a face to people like Phil, Patrick, Renee,
Work
Kevin,
news break.
Tony, Jeff, Bree, Brian, and all of our regulars. And Alex is there too in his PJs. Just be glad he isn't naked. You can be one of those people who gets seen and not just heard by calling into Skype. For more information on how to Skype us, just go to gabnet.net. You can dress any way you want, provided it's decent. GabNet is now not just talk and not just a pretty face. So why don't you add yours?
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Stephen Pearl, ladies and gentlemen.
Bring up. Oh, hi, we're on the air.
Yeah. Excuse me, folks. We've got to do this all over again. Oh, man. I pushed the wrong button. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, let's just pause for a second, and then we'll, let me see here. Let me get this there. See, another picture. Hold on. Oh, come on. Jeez almighty. This thing isn't working right? There we go. Okay. Now, see, that's going? All right. And then what we will do is we will stop recording, and then we will start recording again. Okay? Okay, stopping recording. All right. Okay. Now we're going to start the recording. Go.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Live from New York, and Harlem too. Yes, it's the Ramble. That's in white, and in red it's me, Alex, and we're here until midnight on the East Coast of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Stephen Pearl. Ladies and gentlemen.
Bring up. Oh, hi, we're on the air.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I've been waiting all evening.
How you doing? You're there in Nevada. Let's see here.
Yeah, here in Nevada.
Last time we talked to you, you had a problem with your audio, which is still not great, but the picture is terrific. And then the whole thing went out. Your battery died. Was that it?
Yeah, the Zoom thing sucks the battery out of this phone. It's insane. So I tried doing one with the San Francisco comic on Monday, and my battery died before I got on the show.
Well, did you try recharging before you started?
Oh, I recharge all the time, but by the time they get to me, it's like it's 30%, and then, hi, good to be here.
Okay, well, we'll just hope that we don't lose power here.
Oh, well, there's no Professor Kazabushi. Anything wrong? I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's perfect. Perfecto.
Perfecto. Anda con continuidad.
Yeah. Anyway, so by the way, for people who are watching, normally I have people side by side, right? But I can't do that anymore because now Zoom only allows me to put people this way when I only have 2 people. Now, if I start adding people, it'll probably look different, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Corner.
I give up. I give up.
Oh, I never got along with electronics myself, so.
Yeah. So, anyway. So, how have you been?
All right, starting, I'm downsizing. I'm selling all my records that I bought when I was a young one, and I want to see what I can get for a couple of Fillmore East programs I had that I found. I didn't know I had. So, I'm downsizing all my collectibles. Everything must go. Everything must go. Call Friendly Steven.
One of my
Top Hat 4 703. Top Hat 4 703. Ask for Miss Buxton.
You know what happened?
I'm just selling some stuff, and I don't need any more. And I even want to buy some old used record albums with fucked up covers.
Yeah.
You can clean an ounce of Mexican weed on it with the twigs and the seeds and all that stuff. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, anyway, so let me see here. Well, you live in Las Vegas.
Vegas by the sea.
And I got to tell you, one of my guilty pleasures is a show called Pawn Stars.
Oh, I love that show. That's where I'm going to that store to throw my Fillmore schedules. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Why is that where you went to try and sell them?
No, I went to another record store. Hold on. Something happened here. Oh, come on. What happened?
Oh, now we lost you. There we go. You're fine.
Here we go.
You're fine.
Hey, anyway, no, I'm going to go to that store to show my Fillmore schedules. I don't think they want to buy my beat up old records, but I want to show my Fillmore schedules and see if I can deal, number one, with those guys because I love the TV show, and see if I can get any money for them. So
yeah, but you know the thing is, when I watch that show, if somebody goes in and something gets estimated at $500, you know they're going to offer them $250.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, because they got to make a profit too, which I understand. But so, well, that's the Sphinx. That's for $50 million. I'll give you $50 for it.
Well, whatever happened to the old days? It's a pawn. It's a pawn shop, right? It's now you lost your audio. Oh boy, you lost your audio. Now you got your fingers over the picture. It's like I'm dealing with an old lady here. What's wrong with you?
Hello, I'm back.
There you go. Don't turn your
I can't hear
audio
you.
off.
This is wonderful.
You can't hear me now?
There we go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, now don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
The phone rang and then everything went out. So I don't even want that call.
Well, tell people not to call.
Don't call me ever. Ever. Text me. I don't take calls anymore anyway. It's old fashioned.
Oh boy. Anyway,
I'm going to flame the arrow through my window or a smoke signal or something. What was I talking about just now?
Plus, my Zoom isn't working right here. You know, so that's a problem too. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, so we're talking about the place on Pawn Stars.
Yeah, gold and silver, whatever it's called.
Gold and silver, whatever. And
3 miles.
yeah, and they're always, you know, I mean, I wouldn't go in there if I had something that was worth $500 and they want to offer me $250. Go screw yourself, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll see what I can do because I don't feel like going online or anything like that.
But they can go cheap because they're on TV. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I mean, and I'm sure they get a lot of they get a lot of business as a result of that TV show. Have you ever been to that pawn shop? Have you ever been to that pawn shop, or you not?
I've been to the guy's barbecue place, and I've seen him there, and I've said hello, but I've never been to the pawn shop. So
he owns a barbecue. Who?
Oh yeah, it's barbecue right across the way. So yeah, he's got his hands in a few pies.
Yeah, no, he's also got some kind of museum or something, or some kind of gallery where he's selling some of the more expensive items. Yeah. Those guys are doing pretty well with that little show.
Oh, they're hustlers, man. They work hard and they
the only thing I can't stand about that show is that the guy who's the dad, I can't remember his name now. You know, the older guy.
He died.
Yeah, he thinks he's funny.
Who the grandfather, the guy with the hair?
No. The grandfather's dead.
Oh yeah, he's good and bad. He's Dennis too.
But the father.
Oh, Rick. Yeah. The ball guy.
Rick. Okay, Rick. I forgot his name. Okay, he thinks he's funny. He's always pulling these. And he always laughs at his own jokes too. That's the other thing. Two things you don't do in comedy. You don't laugh at your own jokes. Although you know who does? Bill Maher. And now tell me this, you're a comedian, right? Is the reason a comedian laughs at their own joke because they want to tell the audience this is funny because they don't believe it is?
It's either that or they just like it and it makes them laugh. So I've done stuff that made me crack up on stage and
but you said it off the cuff, right? And then it suddenly made you laugh because you said it. But I'm saying, you know you're going to say this line, and then you laugh at it afterwards.
Yeah.
I find that annoying.
Yeah.
You know, I find that very annoying. And in the case of Rick's case, his jokes aren't even funny. So just you know, I just like the pawn part of it. And also, this is a pawn shop, right?
Yeah.
You remember what pawn shops were?
They got the 3 balls and Ron Steiger behind the case. Let me tell you something. The Nazis left up my family, and now you want me to play that saxophone for money? I can't do it.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. Pawn shops, the reason they call them pawn shops is you went in and you pawned something like, I want to pawn this remote, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I go and I pawn the remote. They give me a pawn ticket. Now, as soon as I can come back with the money to pay them back, with interest, I get my remote back.
Yeah.
They don't do any of that at this pawn shop. They call it a pawn shop. They call it Pawn Stars, but they're not pawning anything.
People have pawn stuff there. Not too many. Most people want to sell stuff or buy stuff, but they have pawn stuff there.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, it's I want a good old fashioned pawn shop. You know,
There you go.
where I go in and
Okay.
I try to get my stuff back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come to see Ron Steiger. How much is that accordion in the window? You may ask. Let me tell you what's more than you can afford. So don't be asking me for the accordions I have. Get a saxophone. They're a lot cheaper. That's just for you and me. Nobody's going to get that.
Nobody's gonna get it. The pawnbroker. It was a big picture. I think it was
Great movie,
nominated
yeah.
for an
Great
Academy
movie.
Award. Didn't
Yeah,
Rod
right.
Steiger win an Academy Award for that picture?
Well, he should have. He was a very good actor. I think he might have won one for In the Heat of the Night.
Heat of the Night, he won for it. Yeah, yeah. He didn't win for that, and that was he was really good.
Virgil Tibbs, we don't get too many of your kind here in Mississippi. And every door we whip down.
All right, enough with the Rod Steiger.
I'm going to talk like him for the rest of the day.
I never knew many people who did a Rod Steiger, to tell you the damn truth, you know.
John Biner, let's say so.
Or people
He was
who even
private.
wanted to do a Rod Steiger.
Who wants to do a Rod Steiger?
Yeah. So anyway, so you're living in a new place now because you
Got a new place.
you had some kind of falling out with the person who.
My landlord was crazy. She tried to make me, to screw me over, so I left.
Yeah. So anyway, this was you had to move out, and so you got a new place. How is the new place? Smaller?
I like it a lot. I'll show it to you. Let me show you. Let me give you the tour.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. What are you looking at? Here's my, here's something, the couch that the cats chewed up. I think he's looking at the couch here.
Yeah.
Is that my wall of greatness? I don't know. I'm just walking around here. Let's go to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Here's the kitchen area. Just a little kitchenette here.
Yeah.
Very nice. Place
kitchenette.
stuff. There's my
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
And there's another cat. And there's another one. And here's the bedroom and the bathroom and the closet and blah, blah, blah. And there you have.
And the computer that doesn't work yet.
And here's where JFK screws all the other women in his life.
So how many bedrooms do you have? You have one bedroom, right?
One. That's all I need. I'm one guy.
Yeah, and your cats.
And my cats, yes, for me and them.
How are they taking to the new place?
They got used to it quickly.
That's good because cats aren't good that way. Cats are not good
You
though.
guys, I brought them. They mowed on the way here in the cages, but once I let them out of the cages, they go, okay, they explored around, and now they run the place. They
Wow.
tell me what to do. Excuse me. That's good.
Wow, that's amazing. That's terrific.
So I like it. It's a regular electronic gate that opens and closes with a remote control. There's no guard there. Let me see your papers, Jew. So Jews don't like gates with guards at them. It reminds them of a simpler time. So I like it much better here. I'm in Koreatown. I'm 8 minutes from the strip. It takes me 8 minutes to drive there. So everything's good.
Yeah, everything's good, but you're not working, are you? I mean, come on, you're not
I do
working.
it shit, man. I'm broker than Tina Turner's nose on her wedding night tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm getting by. That's why I'm going to sell some of my stuff to help myself out there. And there you go.
Yeah. Well, I think that you're in good shape at least that way. Now we got to get your computer working again.
I know. I got to get that. Well, I got a few bucks. I'm going to take it in somewhere, and they still.
Well, here's the problem he's got. If anybody wants to help Stephen with this, just call 777-STEVE. You forgot your password.
I've only had 4 in my whole life, and I used all of them on this thing, and it won't let me in. No, invalid password. So if somebody knows how to get by this password, just where I can just log on, since I'm the only one using this machine, I'd like to give you 1,000 thank yous.
It's a Windows machine.
A bag of Hershey's Kisses. There's got to be a way I can turn this on and boom, I can go onto AOL or whatever. So,
Yeah. You never signed on using your camera, did you?
There's a camera on this thing and it works. I've done Zoom on this thing.
Because in the on my Windows here, I don't have to even put in a password anymore. I just smile at the camera.
Oh, I'd like to have that, sure. Hello, camera. No, this is like 1965, so it doesn't work on this one.
Yeah. Well, I would love to get that working for you, but you called, wrote me and said, I can't get it going. Do you know how to get it going? And when it comes to Windows machines, I don't know crap.
I don't know. Yeah, I just know less
And
than
as
that.
time goes on, when it comes to Mac machines, I don't know crap. I mean, it's just more and more technology and stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm an old man. I can't put up with this anymore.
You're always savvy on computers and electronics and everything and all that stuff. I remember when Laserdiscs were in, you were in on that. So,
It
I
used
don't
to
know.
be
I
that
know how to turn one on and I know volume on and off. That's how I know. That's what I know on this thing.
Well, it used to be that I could with a Windows machine, I could really work my way around a Windows machine, and then I went to Macs. And once I went to Macs, I forgot how Window machines worked. And now, like, I left them off at, I think, XP is where I left them off. So outside of this one, which I do operate occasionally, which is a machine over here, people can't see it. I don't use Windows machines. Just don't use them. So everything I know about Macs, and they're even more complicated than they used to be. I mean, people who used to buy Macs bought them because they were so simple, and now they're not as simple as they used to be. Okay.
This one will be simple if I can get on, but I can't get on, so it's all bullshit.
Yeah, so that's the way it is.
What can you do? Hey, it's not one thing, it's another.
Hey,
it's always
listen,
something that's going to kick me in the ass.
We're running out of time for this wonderful segment and for this wonderful year.
Oh, I can't wait. This year can't end quick enough, and I'm sure 2021 is going to be worse.
Yeah, so I'll see you next year. I love saying that.
I
love saying that. I'll see you next year.
See you next year. I hear that every day. Stop it.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Well, I screwed up the beginning of the program, if you were watching or listening, because I just pushed wrong buttons and things like that. Now, if you're watching the playback of this, you're not going to have that problem, because we solved it. Okay, all right. Anyway, hello everybody. How are you? It's Thursday. I'm a little out of it today. I don't know why. I've been kind of not out of it late. Well, anyway. So let's see here. Outside of that, nothing much. What we should do is probably let some of these people come in to our show. And let me see here. Where are we? There we go. There we go. Let me just put the Zoom panel on. There they are. Terry. Hello, Terry.
Hi.
How are you? Where do I know you at all? No.
Oh, no, I just listened to you and what have you. And you were talking about not having females join. And I just thought, what the hey? And I thought I'd say happy birthday to you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like you on, I think it was XM radio and stuff. I was real sad when you left. So, anyway, found you again.
Good.
And you're kind of my...
What?
Reality check. I live in Wyoming.
Reality check. Okay. If I'm a reality check, you live in a world of non-reality.
I do. I live in Wyoming.
You live in Wyoming. I think this is the first time we've gotten a call from anybody from Wyoming.
Yeah.
Is it still?
It's tough.
And what's amazing is it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the time being.
How's the COVID going for you out there?
Well, certainly not like some the more populated states and what have you, but it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Most people are getting better about wearing masks and
what have you. Are you staying indoors a lot?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to have to lose one of our new callers, so wear a mask and take care of yourself.
I wear a mask. I'm Tom Cruise when I go out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's the new way of putting it, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Hello to everybody. Hello, Charlie Wallace. Hello, Trucker Steve and Sidekick Rocky. Also, thank you, Brian Ludwig, for joining us tonight, as well as Josh Wheeler, as well as Jeffrey Stein. Jeff, let's see. Move your camera up a little bit so we can see your whole face. There we go. There you go. And, Terry, you know the rules. If you've listened to the show at all, just join in whenever you want to, when something appeals to you. Hey, we haven't talked to Brian in a while. What have you been up to, Brian?
Not much, just more of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You still,
yeah, not a whole hell of a lot has happened since I last called.
yeah, driving kids to school still?
Uh, uh, Not really. Not as of 2 days ago.
Why? Did they
They're going remote again, and
Okay.
So weird.
they'll stay remote tentatively until the 19th of January.
19th of January? Why do they say the 19th of January? Is that something going to happen on that day? Like COVID's going on a vacation?
I know, right? It's just, well, they, yeah, you touched a nerve there. Not against you, just against the self-absorbed district that I live in. These people, as it's been said on Facebook, because they've had some controversy on the news.
Yeah.
I said to people on Facebook, as I've lived with these people for over 30 years now, they are the types of people who would burn down the entire Amazon rainforest to heat their houses to keep them warm during the winter months. That's how fucking sociopathic and foolish they are.
And you thought things were bad, and Terry, you thought things were bad in Wyoming.
Well, it sounds a lot like Wyoming.
Yeah. How long have you lived in Wyoming? All your life?
No, I come from Southern California, and I graduated high school and college in Reno, Nevada. And I was listening to you this morning, and you mentioned that you worked in Reno, and I thought,
Yep.
God,
Yeah.
I met a crowd that I can deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my question is, why in the world would somebody leave Southern California to go to Wyoming?
Earthquake.
Really?
Earthquake.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that big earthquake, I think it was back in 71.
It scared you that much?
Well, no, my mom's company moved up to Reno.
Oh, I see. Okay. But how'd you wind up in Wyoming? Now, wait a minute. Let me take a guess. It was a guy.
No, it was a
Really?
job.
Oh, really? Because, well, usually it's either a job or a guy.
Yeah,
You
it was
know.
a job.
You know, I knew many a woman who said, so why'd you move to New York? Well, I had a boyfriend who moved out here, and then as soon as we got here, we broke up, and I've been here ever since.
No, I met one. That's why I'm still here.
Oh, I see. Oh, so that's you got married, I would assume, or maybe you didn't.
Yeah, we did end up getting married.
And is everything still okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. How long have you been married?
About 10 years. We got married the week before I went up to work up in Montana.
Oh, really?
So we got married, yeah, and then I moved up to Montana for a few years.
Wow. You really want to
Yeah.
see how remote you can be.
It's easy to socially isolate. No problem.
Yeah.
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 So I hope you don't mind me joining for a bit.
Oh, not at
just-
all. Please. I'm
Yeah.
so happy you have. Hello, Brian Neary. How are you tonight? I had
I'm good.
If you watch that interview with Stephen Pearl, you probably wonder why he was above me and I was below. That's because the kind people at Zoom have decided that's the new configuration when there are just two people.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like I can then put us side by side, but I did find something I can do. Watch this. I think I can do it. Can I do it? There we go. See? I just moved me. Anybody see me do that?
No.
Okay. Well, everybody who's watching us saw me do that. Now I'm up in the corner, but I can move people to where I want them. Well, wait a minute. Is it doing it? Is it going to do it here? I don't know.
There you
go. I see.
You got the delay.
Huh? Yeah,
You
there's
have
a
the
delay.
delay,
Yeah, I'm
so
trying
I just
to.
saw you
I was
move.
trying to see if it worked for the. Sometimes when you do stuff that goes out on Zoom, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going out on Zoom. It's just going out here. And Trucker Steve, where are you tonight in that wonderful truck of yours with your wonderful dog Rocky?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. Well, if you get a chance, if you pass through Wyoming, Terry has a couple of things she wants you to pick up for her. So,
Yes, I do.
I avoid Wyoming like the plague
why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that?
because it's so fucking windy there. I can't stand driving a truck
Oh
through
yeah.
You know what Wyoming represents to me? I got a ticket in Wyoming. There's a speed trap, a famous speed trap going through Wyoming. And everybody gets caught in it. And they just sit there writing tickets all day long, making money for whatever small town this is. I got a ticket there. And he said, well, if you don't want to pay it, just pay this amount and send the money to us here. And, we won't put a warrant out for your arrest.
They know you're not going to go to court.
No, you're not going to go to court. I'm just traveling through Wyoming.
Exactly.
Blue lives don't matter to me.
Which is the gateway to whatever the next state is over. I mean, there are a whole bunch of states there that you kind of forget as you're going through them. Like Nebraska, I think, is one of them. It's a hellishly long, wide state that takes forever to get through. Yeah, a whole day. And you go, is there no end to Nebraska? And finally,
the road in Nebraska is flat and straight.
Yep.
And takes forever to get through.
That's you know the road there.
Every time I drive through there, I get bored to tears.
And just when
I-80's
and I may be wrong about this, but the minute you get out of Nebraska going west, you think it's all over, right? And you're home free. And I think you're then in Wyoming, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which is another.
And it gets real windy over there by Cheyenne.
Really?
Like they have a law there for trucks, high-profile vehicles. If you're too light, you can't go on the road because the wind can blow you right over.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It happens all the time.
Yeah. Hello.
I hate Wyoming with a passion.
Also, hello to our other former trucker, Kevin. Hello, Kevin. How are you tonight?
Full of piss and vinegar tonight.
You're pissing vinegar? Why are you pissing vinegar?
I said I'm full of piss and vinegar. I just got off a 3-hour city council meeting.
Oh, really? And what was that about?
Yeah, I got all the asshats in the county coming out, and they're trying to pass an emergency ordinance for going after the restaurant owners for having inside dining, and a bunch of them are wanting to continue their inside dining and outside dining, and they can't do nothing about it, so they had an emergency meeting, and then all the no maskers and Trumpers came out of the woodwork. They all came out and exercised their constitutional rights to shit all over their council people, and
do you remember when there were
flags and their pickup trucks? And
do you remember there was a time, and you'll remember this, Josh, where we protest against such things as, I don't know, the Vietnam War? And now we're protesting in the same exact fashion because we want to be able to eat indoors. Haven't these people ever heard of
it? Was just because one restaurant decided to, thumb their nose at the ordinance.
Yeah.
While another restaurant closed up because the owner died of COVID. And they decided that nobody could. I'm serious. This happened all in a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they decided to go out there and do something about it. And they said, well, where's the ordinance? And there was no ordinance. So they decided to have an emergency meeting and create an ordinance. The county wouldn't do nothing. And then all the other people came out and, said you're infringing on my rights to earn a business and, earn a living. And, you can't do this. You're shutting me down. You're going to put me on the street. My kids are going to eat rocks for dinner and all this crap for the last 3 hours. It's just amazing.
Well, you know what you can do with these people.
And then it failed, which was awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, if you got some guy who says, I don't want to be, I have to keep my place open. I'm keeping it open, blah, 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 blah. You just basically say, fuck you. When you do reopen, I'm not coming to your restaurant.
Well, it's going to be interesting what happens because the mayor and the councilman have always been in cahoots together, and they're always stirring up shit. So they stirred this up, and everybody gets pissed off at them. And now they got a new council as of last week. And the other three pissed on their Wheaties. So I don't know what's going to happen now.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next week. How many of the restaurants are going to say, screw you, we're going to open up and serve, breakfast or whatever.
Brian
So,
Ludwig
we'll see. Then we'll have another outbreak.
Brian Ludwig has his hand raised. Yes, Brian.
We'll have another outbreak. We'll have quite a few of them.
Well, you had one die tonight.
Dovetailing with what Kevin is saying, what I forgot to bring up was, we did have quote unquote protesters, and I use that with sarcasm, in front of the school that I work for. A bunch of overprivileged Karens and Kyles who were standing up there. There were about 30 of them.
Is Kyle the male equivalent of a Karen?
That's what I call the male kid.
Oh, good. I like Kyle better. I've heard Kevin is one of the names.
Yeah, Kevin.
Anyhow,
I'll take Kyle.
I said they were there out there protesting for about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 or so, less than 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, after they left that afternoon, when we did our afternoon run, I said to one of the other drivers who agreed with me, you call that protesting. Now go to Standing Rock, Dakota Access Pipeline. The protesters that were there, those were protesters standing out there in the cold. And that one young lady who almost had her arm blown off by the policeman, those are protesters. These pricks here, all they are just
whiny little bitches.
Yeah.
What's that? What'd you say?
Whiny little bitches. That's
Exactly.
what they are.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Tina, ladies and gentlemen. She's joined the crowd.
No, I am so tired. I mean, Wyoming is filled with these people.
Well, don't these people know about the fact
Well, on top of it, the guy, one of them came in, the head of the local Republican group here, came up and started talking about how they're having this big, he said, I pulled out a piece of paper and says, I've got the hell did he call it? A partition to recall Newsom. I got a partition to recall Newsom, and you're going to be on it too. I said, you go take your partition.
Partition.
And they're going to
Well,
have
I thought I read in the paper that what a judge ruled down in San Diego someplace that they couldn't close down the strip clubs.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have a super spreader event here in front of the old Kmart on Saturday, and they want everybody to show up and sign that partition.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're going to sign the partition.
Yes, Brian.
And you wonder why he screams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, to dovetail with Kevin, what I would have said to him was, a partition is something you do with your hard drive in your computer. A petition is something that you're advocating for. That's one. The other thing is,
I got to go tell them that. Damn it.
Well, the other thing is I want to bring up is, I had a term. I'm like one of the proto people who invented my own term for Karens and Kyles. For Karens, I used to call them Kathy Cunts, and for Kyles, I used to call them Charlie Chodes. And their children I had nicknames for too. The little boys I would call Jimmy Jr. John Schlongs, and the little girls I would call Cuntalina Tinas.
Thank you. Good night, folks. We're not monetized tonight on the show. You'll see no commercial.
You say that on the bus. Imagine he says that on the bus. That'd be funny.
What?
Imagine when the kids are leaving. See you later, Connie.
Yeah, see you later, Catalina. Yeah, right. We dare you. We dare you. We double dog dare you, Brian.
Yeah, maybe on my last day if they piss me off.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you have any kids, Tina? Tina? Huh? Terry. What a! I saw last night. I saw Kevin and Tina as
no, it's
Kevin's
just my husband and me.
No, Terry, just you and your husband. Yeah. Oh well, good. You're like my wife and I. We are the people who have not added to this overpopulation of the planet.
Thank you. You're mine.
And for no other reason than we just neither of us ever wanted to have kids.
Give us an update.
What?
Can Dr. Death give us an update?
Oh, you know something? We haven't gone to Dr. Death yet. Dr. Death is sitting right over there in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Dr. Death every night gives us what we call the count and the amount.
Yeah, third day in a row, we've had over 245,000 new cases.
Wasn't it close to 3,000 yesterday?
And it was the second day in a row, we've had over 3,000 deaths.
Yeah. Yes. And today?
Today was 3,249.
Deaths?
Deaths, yeah.
Oh, my God. Are we the biggest fucking idiots in the world?
You're right.
Isn't this genocide?
And they're worried
though?
about eating in. They're
No,
worried
but
about eating in.
you know what it is, Terry? It's self-genocide. You know, I mean, it's stupid.
It's not idiocy. It's
I don't really
self-absorption.
care if it's Republicans or Trumpers that choose to kill each other and themselves and what have you. I just got a big problem of them infecting me and other people that I care about.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. What?
You know what's bizarre, Alex?
What?
They're all worried about eating in. I thought of something maybe that might be funny. It gives the word, the meaning of the word, the sentence, the Last Supper, a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
I really want to eat at the diner so I can get sick. I mean,
Well, you know, tomorrow night is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Fuck it.
Yep.
I'm too old to say, when you were a kid, you used to go, how old are you? And you would say, I'm 8 3/4. Right?
Yeah.
And now you won't say you're 81 till you are absolutely 81. I won't even say it at midnight tonight. I will say it at 10:10 this morning.
When were you born? That's when you were born? 10-10?
Yeah. 10:10 this morning.
Play the number tomorrow.
At Children's Hospital in San Francisco, which it's amazing because at Children's Hospital, there are no bike racks out in front of Children's Hospital. Now, I don't understand. Okay, anyway. What was I saying about me being 81? You know, I mean, it's just, I am in that group that it has a comorbidity. It's called age. All right? And when I walk down the street and somebody's not wearing a mask, I feel they've got like a gun. They're pointing at my head.
That's exactly right.
You know, I mean, they don't think of it in any kind of neighborly way, or that they are part of a society.
Neighborly.
What?
We haven't had neighborly behavior since like not long before I was born, and I'm 38, going on 39.
Well, we haven't had neighborly behavior at least since Mr. Rogers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
in prime years, not in his older years.
Right.
In Mr. Rogers' younger years.
Yeah, he was a real neighbor then. But
I'm not. I don't mean to disparage. I like the man. I mean, even up until the day he died, he was a good man. I'm just saying, society at large was more neighborly when he was younger. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it's just that I don't know why people don't have the idea that we all live in a huge community called the United States, and that we are all responsible for each other, and that
because we've been brainwashed,
and that the carnage that is going on right now, we can blame it on Trump all we want, but he's only part of the problem. He just denied it. It was the first denier of this thing. But the people who are the most guilty of the whole thing are the people who are not wearing masks. Who the simplest thing we could have done to stop several 100,000 deaths was for everybody in this country to put on a mask. That would have killed the disease flat out. It would have nowhere to go. And we didn't do it. So we killed each other. And we're still selfish enough to hold these goddamn meetings like Kevin is talking about, where they're going, we have the right to make a living. Yes, and I have a right to live.
Mm-hmm.
And if your right to make a living impinges upon my right to live, I think my right to live is more important. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should die for your fucking restaurant, with its... What? Yes, Ted.
I've had people, because I'll wear a mask and a face shield when I go into like the Walmart or the grocery store, and I've had people come out of the aisle and literally cough on me.
Really?
I've gotten almost in a couple of fights too.
Yeah. Was it
And
accidental?
I'm going to lose. But yeah.
You should
you should be.
Able,
I don't know how to deal with these people around here.
When somebody does something like that, you should be able to call a cop and have them arrested for attempted murder.
Not in Wyoming, not, because they won't enforce it.
Really?
Yeah. I talk to them. But what I do is I get my phone out and I take video of it and just dare them to touch me, because I'll go after them.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have a record that if I get sick or my husband gets sick, I'll go after to sue them.
Well, you see, what's terrible about that is you have, if they feel they have some kind of rights, you've got a right to wear a mask, for crying out loud, to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And
more people are beginning to wear them. The governor finally got it, and he finally put a mask order. But
He
the
he
sheriff
got
and police
COVID.
won't.
Are you saying he got
Yeah.
COVID? Oh, and I bet he was a Republican governor too.
Everything's Republican. That's why I'm sitting here on your phone.
Yeah, but you got all.
It's like I
I
need to
see
talk
all
to
these
somebody
Republicans.
about
I saw a Republican governor in Tennessee today on the news who was telling everybody, you got to wear a mask. That's the only way we're going to kill this thing. And 3 months ago, this guy was saying, nah, don't wear a mask. This is all a hoax.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it also, was it Wyoming or Montana that did the same thing that Pennsylvania, I think, did? They changed their mail-in laws for voting and extended them 9 days when Pennsylvania only did theirs for 6 days. They did all the absentee mail-ins and that sort of thing. And Trump won that state, but he sure as shit didn't sue him, did they?
No, not at all.
He won it, but they didn't sue him.
By the way,
yeah.
When I heard this today, I almost pissed my pants. Okay, but not that that's a big deal because with the prostate problems and everything like that, it's very easy for me to piss my pants. But I just went apoplectic. Did you hear about the auction in Atlantic City?
No.
They're
yeah.
they're going to implode the Trump casino, Trump Plaza, because it's being put to sleep, I guess.
They're going to put it on TV?
No, they are running an auction for you to be able to pull the plunger.
No.
Oh, geez.
And the auction is going to give the money to like needy kids or something like that. But if you want to blow up Trump Casino, just come up with more money than the next guy, and you get to do. I wish I had a lot of fuck you money, man.
They'll
I'd
make a
be
lot of
down
money
there
on
in a second. What?
They'll make a lot of money on that one.
Yeah,
I have no doubt.
I wonder what the bidding will go for.
It'll be interesting to see how much it goes.
Imagine before you blow it up, you hit one more time.
And story number 2 that got to me really happy is that the people who live down near Mar-a-Lago do not want Trump to move into their neighborhood.
Yeah, he signed that thing back in 1993 or something.
Yeah, he signed a
and
thing.
They're calling him on it.
Back in 1993, that it would never be used as a residence, as a full-time residence, only as a temporary residence. And he wants to move into it full-time, and they say, can't do it. They don't want him there. They don't want him anywhere near them. So I figure Slovenia is probably the only thing left open for him as an option.
Oh,
Isn't there an island out there that Epstein had that's open now?
Yes, I think so. I think so. And Trump knows the place because undoubtedly he's been there.
If they televise that pulling of the plunger, whoever pulls it should say "fuck you, Trump," and then boom, they do it live.
Take a leak on the building first.
I'll bet they're going to be.
Bloomberg should do it.
I bet there are going to be people out there watching this thing happen, cheering. Okay.
Oh, I almost went out and bought a lotto ticket, hoping I would win, and I would give them all.
If I won the lottery and I got like a couple, like $1 billion or something, or let's say $300 million. Okay, that's a good winning in the lottery. I would be more than happy to say, hey, here's $2-3 million. I want to blow this sucker up.
Yep.
And because it's going to a good cause. Is your hand up, Brian, or are you just...
yeah, it is. I was just going to say...
Trying to look like a moose.
I seem to be... I seem to be dovetailing Kevin a lot tonight, but regarding Epstein Island and the possibility of Trump moving there, something tells me there isn't enough Viagra in every factory in the United States that would be able to keep his little mushroom pecker up if he had to... If he wanted to go to Epstein Island and do what Epstein was doing over there beforehand.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
They're waking his girlfriend up like every 15 minutes to see if she's awake or something, see if she's alive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in prison. They have real high security on her.
Oh, that one lady.
Oh, Maxwell. Yeah.
I don't believe he committed suicide too.
Nah, me either.
Do you think
he had the goods on a lot of rich and powerful people? He could have broken the whole thing wide open.
And so does she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's not trial till July.
Do you think Epstein was murdered?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How many here? Raise your hands. How many here think that Epstein was murdered? I think
Possibly,
it's a
yeah.
chance he was murdered. Yeah.
Yeah, it was odd. How do you hang yourself?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Trump that put out the hit.
Well, or yeah. He could use yeah, he could use Putin as a reference for that kind of action. You know,
He probably did use Putin.
Putin today did his yearly press conference. You ready for this? He does one press conference a year around this time of the year, and he did his yearly press conference and said, "Oh, well, we didn't hack the United States. We just didn't. No way. It's just it's fake news." Yeah.
He said he didn't poison that reporter also. Or the other guy, the candidate. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was writing
You gave him a soccer ball. What do you want?
But didn't he say something about, like, if he did or he was poisoned, it wasn't by us, but he was asking for it or something like that?
He said that if he did it, he would have followed through.
If I did it, it would have worked. He'd be dead by now. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would have. But
yeah,
they happen to be one step.
We don't make mistakes.
God, my nose is itching tonight.
So CNN just kept running all that stuff. Well, the cybersecurity stuff going on with Russia too. But so they're showing all that stuff where Trump's just backing. Oh yeah, well Putin said that. Putin said that he didn't interfere in the election. So why I believe him.
Well, you know what amazes me is that you had this president, right, who said that he was protecting America and that we were protecting ourselves against the Mexicans. That's really a big deal. We were protecting ourselves against the Chinese. That's a big deal. But we didn't do anything to protect ourselves against the Russians and the hacking. And now everything got hacked, including the one place that shouldn't have gotten hacked, Homeland Security. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the caravan, remember the caravan? We're worried about the caravan coming. Guess it's still coming.
Yeah, it's still coming. Josh, you've been quiet tonight. He's always quiet until I ask him, and then he starts talking, and then we just sit back and let him do the rest of the show. Josh, what's your thinking on some of this stuff like the hacking?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty sad, to be honest with you. I remember reading in Bob Woodward wrote a book one time about Obama. I think it was called Obama's Wars. So it was one of his insider books on the Obama presidency. He doesn't just do that to Trump like he got accused of, and there was a part in the very beginning about when Obama was elected and he got his first big time briefing as president, day of the inauguration, the day after or whatever. And they were going over all the, major terror threats and, stuff that we'll never really know about. Right. And they got to the end or at least what he thought was the end. And, Michael Hayden, who was then the CIA director outgoing or whatever, relayed the story to somebody that he was talking about, how disturbing this was. And, it was worse than he thought. And they had to stop him and say, wait a minute, we haven't even gotten to cyber yet, which is our biggest threat. And that was in 2008.
Right.
And they were like, this is going to take up more time than the whole stuff that the physical Osama bin Laden type threats that we just went over. Attacks,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Guns, bombs, and the like. Cyber was the worst. And he was kind of known as someone who was kind of into that. I mean, by authorizing us to hack other people, trying to get into the North Koreans and the, Iranians and stuff like that. So I don't find it that difficult to believe that Trump probably let a lot of this stuff go by the wayside because, he's pretty well known to not be very interested in foreign policy or security.
He's not interested in anything but himself. I mean, he is
right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's been reported a billion times. I mean, it's been reported enough that I think we can consider it pretty reliable that he doesn't read the presidential daily brief memos that he gets to go along with the in-person thing. So he doesn't dig into the details. He's been disinterested in those type of briefings and meetings. The only thing that could ever really get him interested, is when they thought they could go gun somebody down and he could come down to the situation room and watch the helmet cams. that macho type stuff seemed to get his juices going for a day. And then when that was over and it was back to the real work of national security, that's real work. And he was never interested in real work. So, if you don't like Joe Biden or you don't like whoever else would have run or whatever, it'll be nice to at least get a decent human being, in office that might. George Bush at least paid attention to these things, right? I mean, if you think he took it overboard and all that other stuff, that's a valid opinion. That's perfectly fine. But I mean, at least he could sit up straight and keep his eyelids open while the people gave him the information, I mean, so that's we have to get back to that. And, thankfully we got, 35 days or whatever. Hopefully.
Yeah. I don't know whether Brian has got his hand up or is he?
No.
You're just fooling around with your pen. Okay.
Look, is it not embarrassing, to, and I know the Russians are good at this and this is the new thing and all that, but it's still embarrassing.
Well, I think
I can't believe that we let it get out. I can't believe we let it get out, to be honest with you. If I were president of the United States, I'd be almost more mad that we were letting it get reported than I would that it fucking happened, because it's completely embarrassing. It's going to shake people's confidence. It's going to let the world know that we're vulnerable. That's a joke. It's almost bad for national security to let it get out. I mean, the people don't always have to know everything.
Right.
Yeah. It's bad enough to get hacked, but then to get it out to the mainstream where everybody can know about it.
Yeah, I don't know how it got out. I don't remember, but it's like,
well, didn't somebody
to talk about that?
Didn't somebody in the government announce that it had happened and that they suspected?
Maybe they did. So, good for their transparency, I guess. A lot of people really love that shit. I'm not one of them.
Since when in this administration did the word transparency ever become apparent? Okay, all of a sudden we're getting transparent, and then he says
in most cases it was somebody pissed off at him that leaked it out.
He was as quiet about this as he has been about COVID. The only tweets he puts out is how he was robbed of the election. That's the only thing he seems obsessed with. He doesn't care that 3,700 people died yesterday. He doesn't care that we hold the world record for the amount of cases in one country. He doesn't care about any of that. All he cares about is, hey, I got robbed. Yeah, right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pence puppet ain't much better either. He was campaigning today in Georgia.
Who, Pence?
Pence puppet, yeah.
Pence puppet. Yeah. Pence was, and he's also going to go travel around the world or something. He's going to be on a goodwill mission, I think. Of some
sort. He's going to get his shot first, and then go do that.
Yeah, he's going to go get a shot. Trump said he's not getting a shot because he doesn't feel he should be pushed to the front of the line.
So great God.
Yeah.
See, that's more proof that he didn't really have it.
Yeah.
What would he need an inoculation for if he actually had the disease?
Yeah. Why does he need the shot?
Well, that's why I think he said, I don't need it. So I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to put myself out front. Well, Pence is right there with his arm out,
I'll take it. I'll take his.
Yeah, well, he was the head of he saved our lives. He was the head of our task force, our coronavirus task force.
So what do you think's going to happen down there in Georgia?
Oh God, please let it be the Dems. Please.
What do you think's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know whether he's fucking it up or everybody's being
we
quiet.
hope he is messing it up. We hope. Yeah.
I hope it's quiet enough that the Democrats are going to come out and
are there any polls yet that have any indication of how that whole thing is going?
I kind of hope not. I don't want any polls. I'd like to see him just come out and beat the shit out of him and then say go home.
Yeah.
What I read was a lot of people are showing up to vote though, and that might be a good sign. Yeah.
The pre-vote. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was there, and they kept having this tight shot on Pence, but every time they backed off, it looked like there might have been almost 900 people there, I think. Maybe 800.
Almost 900. It didn't look like that many people to me.
That's what I said.
When they found out.
Maybe 800 or 500.
Yeah,
But they
it
kept
didn't
having
look
these
like
tight
it was real
shots,
crowded.
and then it would back off, and they'd go right back to the tight shot.
What's that woman's name who's running the sink of the butt kisser?
Loeffler?
Oh, she's amazing. Wow.
Picture her with a KKK leader, former KKK leader, or something like that.
Both of them are a piece of work.
Yeah.
Can I say something? And I please tell me if I'm being sexist here, Terry. My new favorite channel is OAN. Have you anybody looked at OAN? And
Yeah.
What? Now you're leaving Newsmax?
What am I? Yeah. What am I talking about over at OAN?
Hot babes on the news.
Every one of the anchors are women, and they are hot women.
Yes, they
were not hired for their news reading ability. Okay.
Well, it isn't really news, but they have radio ads on the radio.
Oh, really?
Local radio, yeah. And to me, that's very concerning because this is people that are way out.
Well, there is a blonde who is on at 6 o'clock every night. That's the one, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
All you have to do is Google OAN anchors.
Yeah. Well, which one is that? A whole bunch of different ones of them?
Yeah, just the first page right when it popped up. All these girls.
What's the one that starts with an S? The name.
The bottom right.
Stephanie Myers.
Always goes
Stephanie Myers.
No, Stephanie. No, not Myers.
Stephanie Myers.
Stephanie Stillwell or
Myers. Oh.
No, it isn't Myers.
Oh, okay. She's the only S.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, this woman was. I mean, she's. You know, I'm still a guy. You know?
Hello, and naked news on a merch.
And I like I watch MSNBC, and I think there are a lot of fine women over there doing broadcasting who are very educated and have a great history in the political business.
Don't let one. You're letting one pass.
They don't look that good, though.
Just tell him he's sexist, Terry.
That's okay.
Who is talking? Who's talking?
Somebody's got some noise going.
Oh, sorry, that's my son. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, I want you to notice, Tony, just for a moment, move out of camera range. Just move out of camera range.
They're right next to each other on my screen.
Yeah,
on the bottom.
that is a green screen that Ray has of his wallpaper and his background.
Other way, Ray.
And his mother down there in the corner. Okay, Tony, come back now.
Thank God she went to sleep, Alex.
What?
I heard a lot about it, or just listening to the program, heard a lot about that wallpaper.
Which one is that? Which one is that?
Chanel Ryan.
Oh, geez. Now, you see, they put those women up there doing the news, and come on, I'm a guy, you know? I mean, hell.
He looks like the one that goes to the press conferences.
Yeah, but I mean, none of them are very good at what they do. It's
Of
not,
course not.
But you don't care, you know. So,
Do you listen to what they say, or do you just look at them?
Oh, I don't listen to what they say. No.
Turn the sound of CNN on and you watch them.
Because the concern I have, especially here where I live, is they may be looking at them, but they're also listening to what they're saying.
Because over at Newsmax, the best they can come up with.
it's getting scary.
Over at Newsmax, the best they can come up with is, what's his name, the former press secretary to Trump. Trying to remember.
Scaramucci?
No,
the Sheen guy that was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean Spicer.
Sean Spicer.
Yeah, Spicer.
He's got a show. You want to hear about sheer idiocy, watch that sometime. But then I watch it for about 5 minutes. I go back to OAN. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I think if MSNBC wants to get better ratings, one of the things they should do is probably take a page out of that book.
When I hear that name, Sean Spicer, I think of that skit they did a while, like not long after Trump got elected on Saturday Night
Saturday Night Live.
what was her name? McCarthy, that comedian.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Oh yeah.
She did Sean Spicer, didn't she?
When he actually chewed like gum or something, then she exaggerated by having like this big ass wad of gum that was almost as big as she was.
Yeah.
She takes a bite out of it, and then she chases everyone in the room.
She did a good job. Yeah,
With
she
the
was
chair.
good. I remember that. Yeah.
But
I laughed my ass off.
Yeah. No. Anyway, we. All I'm saying is we've only got a few more days, folks. Hang in there. Just hang in there. And
it's just getting so tough.
Yeah, but I mean,
to hang in.
Yeah, I know because you really once
I've had hives.
Okay, what really?
Zits.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just
really. Oh,
Yeah,
my wife gets
man.
apoplectic about this, but she ain't grown any zits or anything,
No.
Yes,
no, yeah.
Charlie's got his hand up. Charlie.
Yeah, the problem is we got 33 days, and we could have 100,000 people die next 33 days.
Yeah, and there's other damage he can do as well.
A lot of damage.
I'm trying to think of who he's going to pardon.
Well, he'd get my respect though if he pardoned Ed Snowden and Julian Assange.
Well,
he might do that. There have been speculation as to whether or not he would.
Well, Snowden, of course, he can be pardoned, but he can be pardoned for potential federal crimes because he hasn't been charged with anything, has he?
Snowden?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, I think they tried to.
Yeah, they charged him.
Yeah,
they did
I think
charge
he's
him.
been charged.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that would be, but do you really think Trump would pardon Snowden? I think
I hope so.
somebody said he should pardon Bill Cosby, but then I had to point out I don't think that was a federal crime, was it?
No.
No.
Oh, stink.
So,
Do you think he can pardon himself?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he could try.
I've been listening to.
And he's got state charges against him too, so there's that.
Yeah,
New York and New Jersey are hard for him.
Yeah, the charges against him nationally, federally, probably aren't as telling as the ones that are sitting around here in New York. They're waiting for him to no longer be president and then hit him with these things. What do you think about the way Biden is handling the Hunter Biden situation? He came out today with Stephen Colbert and commented on it. And he said, look, I'm a father, and I'm with my son all the way, and I hope he's going to be okay, But he didn't indicate that he would do anything about it because he's president. He would let the law take care of itself, and that he has faith in his son and that his son did nothing wrong. And I thought that was a pretty brave thing to do because really he could have said, I really don't want to comment on that. And everybody would have understood. But he actually commented on it. And he did it in a very paternal way, of a father and son. And, he feels he's a really bright kid. And, he's sorry that he's in the middle of this because he wouldn't be in the middle of this, he said, if I didn't become president of the United States. They're only going after him to get to me. And I thought that was a fine answer, But anyway, so let me see here. What else is happening? Anything else happening in the news that I have completely forgotten about? Probably everything.
Well, it's been
Huh?
I was just going to say, it's been a while since I was on here. Did you ever talk about how the way that the pedantic and the condescending way in which Pelosi's been addressing reporters and whatnot concerning her failure to reach the previous stimulus deal, which was like $1.8 trillion, and instead settling for the 900? And she's telling these reporters, "Oh, just calm down. We're doing the best we can." And I'm thinking, bitch, you're playing checkers on a chessboard.
Well, I'm a little kinder. I'm a little kinder to Pelosi than you are. I feel that for a while she was doing a great job. She was holding the infidels away from the gates, okay, and had a great attitude about it. But I think at this point, now that we've got a president who's a Democrat and we've got a lot of the reins of power, I think it's time for her to step down from that position and let somebody a little younger, a little with fresher ideas take over. The same thing, and I think the same thing with Schumer.
There's another development occurring.
What were you going to say, Brian?
There's another development occurring.
Brian. I was saying Brian Neary, but go ahead.
No, I agree with Schumer too. I think both of them, we need to get some fresh faces in there. I think when him and Pelosi started getting along together on the Trump stuff, it sort of wore everybody out.
Yeah. I mean, when there was a Trump to fight, I think she was valuable.
Yeah.
There is no longer a Trump to fight. Now we need somebody in there that's going to win over the country, you know, and win over the hearts and minds. How do you feel about that? Brian, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's also a movement that's starting to gain traction about there being no confirmation for Pelosi as speaker especially by these 15 or 10 squad members, quote unquote, until Medicare for All is publicly placed for a vote on the floor of the House, just to see where everyone stands on the issue publicly, so that everyone can, know where they stand.
In other words, you're talking about a starter dose, as it were, of just feeling it out and seeing how it rests. And
apparently there are enough squad members, enough progressive Democrats who have just been recently elected, among which obviously includes AOC, to withhold her confirmation as the House Speaker, which would then go to Kevin McCarthy, if she weren't confirmed. If she's not gonna even allow Medicare for All to be placed for a vote, knowing that it'll likely fail, we might as well have Kevin McCarthy.
I think it wouldn't hurt to hold a vote on that. I don't think it'll pass, but at least we get we're testing the waters and seeing where we're standing at this moment, and then we can,
in a pandemic too,
adjust from there. Yes, Charlie.
The problem is that's just shooting off your nose to spite your face, because it's not going to do any good to win the 2 Senate seats in Georgia if we're going to let Kevin fucking McCarthy be the Speaker of the House.
How's he any worse?
He wouldn't be.
Because there's lots of things that they can get done besides Medicare for All. There's all kinds of shit that needs to be done that won't get done because the Republicans in the Senate won't ever. The House passed like 350 bills over the last 2 years.
And they're sitting there, and
the Senate won't even take up.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's right. I mean, the question is, yes, we want Medicare for All, but that's not the only thing we need. And there are a lot of other things we need as well. And that's
if we'd had the Senate, we'd had another stimulus back in May.
Yeah.
The House passed the stimulus in May.
Yeah.
I mean, we right now, there are Americans. I mean, you're talking about, Kevin was talking about this restaurant owner protesting.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah.
It trickles down.
Yeah. I mean, where's the money for him? Where's the money? And he would shut up in a second if there was money there for him. Okay, but where's the money for him? Where's the money? And here's the one that's really sickening. For the states. They aren't giving any money to the states. Now, my question is, how are these states supposed to give people the vaccine? How are they supposed to keep their police departments open and their fire departments going? And
defunding the police.
Yeah, I mean, by not, and all these states, the virus has cost them a bloody fortune. Here in New York, there's a $15 billion deficit that we're probably going to have to take care of through higher taxes and a whole bunch of other things. And if only the government would give these states money, I mean, how do they expect that each of these states are going to administer just the vaccination programs? Money doesn't come out of thin air, and the only people that print money is the federal government.
That was one of the things that they were saying at this meeting tonight. They were all complaining because you're shutting us down because you're getting money into the state from the federal government if you shut us down. Absolutely bullshit.
No, it's absolute bullshit.
Is that Newsmax and that other one, OAC or whatever? News? Is that where it's coming from? That?
No, I mean, they pass along a lot of false information. What? Who's talking back there?
I'm sorry. I accidentally put the volume on, and my son is sitting behind me.
Oh, I see.
sorry. I was going to say something. He like
grounded.
yelled.
If he wants to join in, he's allowed to.
He won't want to.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So we've got to do something about the states getting money. I mean, they're going to go broke. And the thing is, I think it was what's his name, the head of the Senate,
Durbin. No, not the head. McConnell
said, well, let them go bankrupt. Let them go bankrupt. Well, you let them all go bankrupt, and what goes bankrupt at the same time? The United States of America. You can't have states going bankrupt like crazy. You completely undermine the financial stability of this country. So, and then they say, oh, we're fighting over whether we should give everybody $600 a month or $800 a month. A $600 stimulus check or an $800 stimulus check.
You have other countries in the
and
world
I'm thinking to myself, where do they live? What's $600 or $800 going to get anybody? Okay, especially if they've been out of work since March. All right.
Yeah.
A waiter at a restaurant who hasn't worked at the restaurant since March. Tell me how long is that $600 going to last?
Probably a week.
If that.
You've got other countries paying their citizens $2,000 a month, or
a month.
A month?
Not just one stimulus. Every fucking month, the Canadians get $2,000 each.
Really?
I don't think they do anymore, but they did until a couple of months ago, right?
This shows you how much of a rapacious oligarchy we live in. So, put box on both political parties.
In France, they get $2,000 a month too. My relatives in France, everyone gets about $2,000 a month.
And we don't get zilch, right?
We're still waiting for $600.
It's going to hurt us in the long run.
Well, let's face it. The stimulus money that you give them is going to work its way into the population. Yeah. It's going to go to businesses and stores and restaurants and whatever, or just, what. So really that money, it's not like it evaporates. It goes into people's pockets and then disappears. It funnels out into the rest of the population and helps everybody else. The $600 that person gets, that $600 goes to somebody else who then spends it somewhere else, who then spends it somewhere else. And it keeps money circulating.
You want to know something, Alex?
Yeah.
This is why I hate this. I don't want to sound greedy. This is why people don't want to, what? It's like if I wanted to sell a comic, say books, I don't want to have to claim taxes and everything. Why? My tax money's they're not doing shit for anybody with our money.
Exactly. Thank you.
It's like, you know what? You tax me enough. You get it. I don't mean it like that, like Trump, but it's like, this is blame these people who are doing, like, say if you get a painter who comes in.
I think the state of New York, the state of New York, we're certainly getting our money's worth right now. I mean, considering the way the state is dealing with the COVID crisis and the amount of testing that we're doing, they're spending the money well, okay? Money they don't have, okay? Money they're going to have to come to us and try and get eventually.
Well, why don't they go to the Hamptons and find it? I'm sure they'll find an abundant supply of it.
But when you're doing 150,000 tests a day, that ain't cheap.
Well, I was reading in the stimulus package, and that's what they're leaking out. They're saying New York is going to get funding because if they don't, the MTA is going to lay off workers in January or something.
Yeah, but they don't care in Washington.
No, they don't. You're right.
In New York, we're a bunch of those big city people, right?
And you know what I'd like to ask them? How do they come up with the number 600? Like you said, did it just fall out of the sky? Like
I don't know. I don't know. Anybody know? Josh, where do they get $600? Where do they figure it's 600?
Can't even pay rent with that.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's half of 1,200 they gave last time.
Is that supposed to shut us up from complaining? Is that what that's
Pretty
all
much.
about? Yes, Charlie.
The $600 comes from the original $900 billion stimulus packet, had $160 billion to give to the states to pay for all of their COVID expenses. And this new compromise, they were saying, don't give that money to the states. Use that for the stimulus. And the original stimulus cost $320 million, so they got half of the 320
Okay,
million.
so
They get half of the 12,000.
Whose crappy idea was that?
I
think that was McConnell's.
Was it McConnell's?
It is half.
He had a very, very. Actually, I think his was let's protect all businesses so no one can sue anybody.
Yeah.
And then, to hell with the states. I know in Wyoming, they have laid off a bunch of people, state government and local governments.
Right.
A bunch of people.
Right.
And the businesses. I mean, this is a dead economy.
We live in a failed state.
Eat Trump. Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, and yet there are those people who think Trump was wonderful. I don't understand.
They do.
I don't understand it. I mean,
and they haven't worked in months, and they think he's just the bee's knees, and I'm just going like.
Well, I mean, they say, "Oh, he's been good. He's been good for the economy," but the fact of the matter is, he hasn't been because he didn't attend to the COVID crisis, and the COVID crisis is the main reason we have a financial problem in this country now. It's the reason why people are out of work. It's the reason why we have soup kitchens and soup lines, and I mean, do you see those lines of people waiting for food in lines of cars? Oh, man.
There was over another, over a quarter million people had applied for unemployment again.
Oh, really? Excuse me. I'm my
335,000 or something.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Trump is going to be the first president since 1900 or something that is going to leave office with fewer people employed than when he took office. No matter what happens over the next 35
years. He got something done. How can you say he didn't do nothing?
Well, who are these people then that think Trump is a good idea? People that were out of work in the first place?
Oh, no, this is oil and gas, man. They just think he's the bee's knees.
Up there? Oil and gas.
Yeah, and this whole town is like shut down. There is no economy here. There's nothing.
Now, what town are you in? What town are you in Wyoming? Unless you don't want anybody to know.
Well, I'm in southwestern, and it's coal, Trona, and oil and gas. Those are the big industries.
And do those people support Trump?
This used to be a very Democratic county. And now it's so Trumpy.
Incredible.
I mean,
so what happened? What happened? This is a good question. What happened that made these people go from being Democrats to whatever they are now?
I think it's because you had Sinclair Broadcasting buying all these little radio stations in the Midwest in this area, and they just speak the shit. I mean, they just pull shit out of their ass. One lady told me that Nancy Pelosi took $1.5 billion out of Social Security for the impeachment. And my jaw was like on the ground, like, what?
Just makes it up.
I thought it was for ice cream, but it was for the impeachment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going like, I started searching this, and I mean, it was some bullshit website.
Well,
but they take it, and now that's like, they believe it.
Well, what's interesting?
And it's like I can't think.
What's interesting
it's very scary.
Is Sinclair is a real problem. Sinclair is in case people don't know, is a broadcasting organization that bought up a lot of TV stations in this country and a lot of radio stations in this country. Yeah. And their newscasts have news clips on them that are sent out from the central office that were made up as kind of propaganda. And the people who, sometimes these are the only stations in a whole area, like maybe in your area where you live, it may be the only TV station. Am I right about that? I don't know.
Over air here, it would be Sinclair.
Yeah. And that's where the only place people get news. So if that's the only place they get news and they rely on that news, they think that what they're getting is the truth when they're getting complete, absolutely twisted, lying newscasts. And that's one of the reasons we have such a misinformed country. And you say that that's the reason you think why your area went from Democrat to whatever they are now.
Yeah.
Entirely possible. I've been
Yeah.
into
Well,
part of
but,
Wyoming.
But you know, it's
Wyoming-
also mining
Go ahead, Josh.
and oil and gas
Yeah.
and
You're right,
what have
right,
you.
right.
I
And
mean, in
those,
Wyoming, though, the two main industry would be energy and agricultural, cattle, other forms of farming and stuff like that, which he tied himself to, rather well. I mean, he's handed more free money out to farmers of all various types than anyone
Mhm.
since FDR, for example. I mean, that's a fact, no doubt there. And if you look at the electoral map in Wyoming, which I did, the only county that Trump didn't win was
Teton.
up in the northwest corner, at Grand Teton and Yellowstone.
Mhm.
And that's because most of the people that live up there are transplants from somewhere else because they work for the National Park Service and other people who support two of the
Well, a
largest
lot of
national
them are
parks in the United
billionaires
States.
up at the Jackson Hole
California.
area.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
right. I mean, so
Key
those
bumps.
people are technically Wisconsin residents, but don't necessarily have Wyoming residents, but bring some of their East Coast and California politics. Because where a lot of your park rangers came from was, east of the Mississippi and places like that. Educated and went on to work for the NPS and now live there year round in Park Service settlements and whatnot. But they can vote. So, I mean, that's how Wyoming got that way. But I mean, Wyoming is just old school.
Yeah.
Republican
Oh, but
politics.
Montana
I mean,
went
Lynn
from
Cheney is
kind
there,
of
but,
a Democratic to Republican.
Yeah, but why did we lose them, and how do we get them back?
I've been asking the Democratic Party here that
Well,
for a while.
I mean, people are sick and tired
This
of
is
hearing
why
it, but I'm just telling you the way that you don't get them back in Wyoming is to argue about who can go to the bathroom where. I'm just telling you. I mean,
well, I'll
try
tell
to
you, I
get
know where
people to
every
vote
good
in
sagebrush
Wyoming.
is in this state.
I mean, you start using catchphrases like defund the police. People in Wyoming aren't going to vote for Democrats.
Agreed.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that was a mistake.
And if you want to get that sort of stuff done, some major changes, that's fine.
I thought they would
I'm
have kind
certainly
of. I'm just surprised they didn't
But
kind
your
of
rhetoric needs to change.
That they didn't kind of like Biden, because Biden does talk to the common man.
Yeah.
He's not exactly, big city feller.
But people here don't listen to like a balanced
Okay, they don't get the
news or what have you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not balanced. It is like ultra right wing.
Haven't they? I think there's
Yeah, I
been
mean,
some.
all right, I don't obviously don't live in Wyoming, but my wife and I have traveled all over Wyoming extensively and visited all the parks and all kinds of other places. Been in Wyoming quite a lot, and I mean, so and we've gone through all the little itty bitty towns. I'm talking towns in Wyoming where 100 people live and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, remember, I got a ticket there.
I don't bring my politics up when I'm out there.
Yeah.
I got
a ticket
real
there.
Americans. I mean,
Yeah. Well, there's.
I certainly don't bring my politics up because I might get slugged.
Well,
I mean,
we'll come out there
yeah.
and protect you, Terry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I got my phone.
As soon as I
Yeah, I don't know. I've been like, and then I tried to do with the county Democratic Party and what have you, and these people.
Yeah. Hey,
they just want
listen.
to sit around and bitch.
Listen, we've run out of time here. And listen, Terry,
Okay.
please call us again. You've been terrific.
Well, I tried to get my friend to come with me.
Yeah.
She's down in Arizona right now, so I'll bug her for tomorrow night and what have
Well,
you.
she
But
can-
thank you for letting me
she can call-
participate because
please.
I really needed this.
Will you do it? Will you do it again? Promise me you'll do it
Oh,
again.
I listen to your podcast every day.
Well, then
And this
please
is the first time I did the
do it again. You've been
thing.
you've been terrific. I think everybody
Oh
will
well,
agree.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Charlie, thank you, and thank you to Steve and Rocky. There's Rocky. Oh, thank you, Rocky. Hello. And Brian, thank you, and thank you to Josh and other Brian. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Tony, and with that horrible wallpaper, and to Ray with the horrible wallpaper. And a green screen, but that's how he got it. He waited for you to move out of the picture for a while there. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Everybody wave a big wave goodbye, and we'll wave back at you, okay? There they go. They're starting to disappear. I better get myself on here. Anyway, boy, that was a good show tonight. Good people. And Terry, gee, nice addition. Huh? Would you agree? Anyway, listen, we got to go. We're running late. We'll be back again tomorrow night, same time at 10:30. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there and wear a mask, okay? Bye.